uh, a release trailer also. So I'm just gonna stream it, and probably this probably is gonna be a short stream because I'm actually working on some art, Catalyst Black art anyway, which is kind of funny. So I'm just gonna show this and then probably move over to doing some of the art and probably go to Discord afterwards too, because there's a lot of people talking about stuff. This the thing about the release is, as exciting as it is, just based on what we're playing currently, I don't know what, like, just looking at what's on the video, the game that we're playing is nowhere near what's there. The video stuff is actually a little bit ahead, but let me let you get a look at it and you can see for yourself. So that's pretty much the trailer. I'll play some things that are pretty interesting. Um, when you look at Seeker, Protector, the Brighton was actually a Vanguard weapon. They're moving it to Protector, which kind of helps because there's literally only one Protector um, primary right now. So it's kind of cool that they're going to actually give you that as a Protector. They buffed up the flamethrower to the point where it's like it's really, really good weapon right now. I've played it originally when it was an okay weapon, and then once you figured it out, you can make it do really good things. But I've been playing it since it's been released, and I made it level 20 was probably one of my sixth or seventh things. I mean primaries that I put to level 20 because I played it all the time and I wanted to level it up as fast as possible. I also infused it the fastest. It's my first 5-star infusions when infusions used to only go up to 5 stars. So yeah, that's interesting. Flamethrowers have been moved to Protector. There's a scene in here too when they're showing you the gameplay. There's a weapon that does a knockback, which doesn't exist currently in the game modes. This weapon right there. So basically, the sniper rifle literally hits you and then knocked you back. There's no weapon that does that. That might be the echo bias, because that's the sniper that we haven't gotten yet. But that'd be kind of cool if that's what it did. But that sniper literally shot the person and knocked them back like 4 or 5 feet. So it's pretty amazing. Hey man, what's up, Max man? But yeah, it looks amazing. Like I said, right now in the beta version that we're playing, we're not we're nowhere near whatever that is. Like this one has more weapons. It has a lot of different things that we still haven't seen. They're still like trying a few things out. Like they made a change to rockets that I'm not loving. So I personally do not play them. And from I'll just switch over to the game stream version. I was working on an art project. Like one of the guys in here said like Van some it's part of Vainglory, his name is, right? He came up with the idea of creating human versions of the primals. Like if the primals were able to go back down and become a human. So this is a version I've created for Isia. The character's name is Rihanna Stormbringer. Um, I've done one for Sunder, Garrick Sabermore. Saber More. That's the one I did for Sunder. So basically, I'm working through some of them. The funny thing that's really the thing that's really funny about all of these characters, their base for my drawing or the thing that I'm using for like my base character creation is all X-Men characters. Basically, she's based on Storm. He's based on Sabretooth. So that's how I'm basically creating them out. So it's fun little stuff that I'm doing art wise. So this is one of the latest things that I did in the beginning of the month of April. Um, Basically, Knock versus Sunder. Sunder has something called Breath of Fire, which is his third ability, which is going to be released with the next Ancient bundle, I believe, that's coming out, is going to be the Umbra Sunder bundle. And then you're going to gain Breath of Fire. And then he has an ability that used to keep his duration going, but primals have infinite duration now. So I think what it's going to do is it's going to heal him up really fast. So it's going to give him a lot of heal when he does it. He'll play very similar to the way Janks plays right now. So the background is pretty much the same. I just was playing with the backgrounds that I designed here. But I've done a lot of art with these characters over the last few months, or actually over the last few years. I can't believe we've been actually in this for almost 2 years. It's going on 2 years. So if you look at fan art, if I can find the star chart. So if you look at the fan art, yesterday I created a version. The leg was off, and he had an extra ear that didn't make sense. So I actually fixed it up. But these are old stuff that I do because I'm doing a comic fan fic comic with characters from my comic book universe. This is my character Blue Jay as a Jayhawk Isia. This is my character Leopard as a Spotted Sunder. And I actually created relics and powers for them and everything. I have actually a whole sheet that explains what these characters do on my old iPad. But I'll just jump to, let me see the star stuff, because the star messages show you all the stuff that I've worked on. There was this program that called Wombo Dream that created AI generated art based on keyword references. And then this is something for something called the Arctic Sunder. And then I basically looked at the reference. I then draw what I think I see, and then I actually would do the art to mirror that. And that's Arctic Sunder. That's what the mask looks like. There's a lot of really cool stuff a lot of these guys do too. Other stuff that I have laid out. This is one they did of Torden, and I called it Infernal Torden. So I created a Torden based on that. So that's the design. It's more like a Rage Torden. It'd be kind of cool if some of these ideas get worked into the game, but that was one I did. This is my Feral Janks. And instead of keeping them green, I turned them into like an orangish color. So there's a bunch of stuff that I've been doing. That Janks up there, that's something I also drew too. So I've been doing a lot of artwork with these characters for a while. I have one of Isia also. This is if you go to my YouTube channel, if you're watching it on the TV, this is the screen, my opening screen for my YouTube channel. Well, one of them. One of the designs I was creating. This is taking the cow emoji and making him transform into a Janks. So it's a little animated GIF that I did, and that's the two of them together. This is one of the ones I did for Janks because I hadn't drawn him in the first for a long time. And then this is the other one that I did for Janks. That's my first Janks drawing. But yeah, so Janks is actually one of my favorites too. So there's a lot. I mean, people have been drawing, doing fan art for this for a bit. Ha, he hates. I love that guy. Oh, this is so cool too. That's the key. They really, if you want to talk about the most meta outload right now, I'll tell you the most broken outload in the game. um, but it requires your builds to be infused. Right now, it's Tetrad, 4-star or better, Dispatch, 4-star or better, and then go to town on what you want around it. But you can use things to increase your damage, increase your stuff. Like, also, believe it or not, sprint with anything like a flamethrower or a chain gun is really strong, but this build is actually stronger. It's Tetrad. I prefer Renegade over Dispatch, but Dispatch has something called Execute. So once you get a person below a certain amount of health, this is also on the chain gun. They get over a certain amount, below a certain amount of health, no matter what you're fighting, when you hit it, you do over 9,000 damage automatically. This happens on the chain guns too. You get it under 250, next shot, 9,000. The Dispatch has this also. The next thing you can do with it is Warborn Amulet gives you a broken feel. Because that 9,000, when you kill something for 9,000, you heal for 2,400. So yeah, that's kind of broken. Sprint works real well. Like, I have my sprint to level 6, and the reason I like using sprint so much is I get a speed boost of 40%. The base speed boost on sprint is already 60, so I'm already at 100% speed. I'm twice as fast as anything. Yesterday I used it to beat somebody. I came attacking them. They went into Polar Vortex. They went to Isia. They dropped Polar Vortex on me. I ran through the Polar Vortex, grabbed the flag, grabbed their flag again, and ran out of it. The person quit the game afterwards. But that's how fast sprint is. So that's pretty much it. And the most broken primal right now in the game is Lumia Isia, and Polar Vortex, and Shiver Shroud is what people use. I use Seeking Storm because every time it drops on somebody, it does 2,100 damage. But that's probably one of the more broken builds in the game. You can use stuff like Blink Strike, Temporal Rush, Sprint. You can think of any of the abilities, Blink, that moves you around real quick, that's strong. Any abilities that heal you, that's strong. Like, so the ability can be anything you want. But if you use the 3 other items that I'm showing you, yeah, that's like lights out. Funny thing is, I prefer playing that build with Current's Cache, because Current's Cache has been reworked. Back in the day, Current's Cache used to just give you a secret bonus every time you picked up stuff up. Now, Current's Cache, every time you pick up a red or a blue crystal, you heal 700. Current's Cache, whatever weapon you're using, it doubles your ammo. So if you're playing the Finlay, and I think the Finlay has 100 and something bullets, it goes up to 250. If you're playing the what do you call it, the Negate Siren, mine has up to like 12 shots. On my Negate Siren, my Negate Siren has 24 shots. It's that powerful. So yeah, so it's, the trinkets have been redone to a point where the trinkets are lights out great. The hardest one to use, it's not because it sucks, it's because all the primals are so fast in the trinkets, is the Kindred class. So what the Kindred class does is, if you're next to a primal, you have a speed boost and you're healing. You're healing fast at a faster rate than normal. So that's really cool. The only primal this works really, really well with is Torden, because Torden is slow as hell right now. He's so slow, he's the only primal you can stay next to. But Torden, the way he's built right now, if you play it and you have a bunch of people satelliting around you and you keep giving them Guardian and you're using Enter the Storm and you're constantly shielding people, and every time you drop your hammer you generate a shield, it's really freaking strong. Like, if you play support Torden, you can just walk around the map for a really long time, as long as you're surrounded by your army of players that you keep shielding and you keep them strong. You can walk around with Torden all day. It's a really cool build. When you start playing in teams and you start playing with people, support Torden is freaking like the best support character. The other one you can play support that's really neat is support Janks. They play really good support. Those characters, they're tanky and they last long, and they have a lot of abilities that actually help their allies that are around them. So they're the two best support characters right now if you're playing support. The only reason you could say support Isia is right now, Isia is so strong, Lumia specifically, like you can't really get to her. The only way to really beat an Isia currently is a sniper rifle as a player. The other way is to play Primal Roar, Sunder, and then truck them and then just destroy them as fast as possible. But and then also I can play I play around them easily using Janks, because Janks spear and explosion capabilities is so long. I just run around people, and as Janks gets infused, the more health you use, the faster you become. So if I have a sliver of health, I usually can kite around people and just keep stabbing them and then just keep regenerating Janks health right back. So there are games I could play Janks as Janks for like 90% of the game if I wanted to. If I'm playing really well, Janks never gets lost. Like if I'm playing Eventide, I only stop being Janks when they push me to other events that take away Primal. But if not, I could be Janks like damn near the whole game. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool things that happen. They messed up the Art Mandrill. The rockets are horrible because they speed up the game by 25% and then they slowed the rockets down. So yeah, nah, there was one game I was playing. Like I'm able to transform to Janks, take out both Imperial Guardians, stay Janks the whole time, then the arena comes. It takes me out of Janks. I come back in, get Janks up again, and I can stay Janks for the rest of the game. I've done it like literally 90% of one game. I was Janks the whole time. It's insane. That's why I said if they were nerfing anything, they should nerf Spite. But they said, nah, Dread's worse. And I'm just like, are you kidding? No one plays Dread. How would Dread be the more dangerous of the two? What Dread does is if there's a lot of people around you, you're always drawing health from them. Like there's a green flame on top of their heads. You're drawing health from them, you're healing, and so is your allies. So the more people around you, the more you heal. But no one uses it because Corral and Spite makes more sense. Why the hell would I use the other thing for? Dread doesn't even make sense, man. And the way I play Dread, I play Savage Charge Dread. It's fun, but it ain't strong. So it's a real weird concept that they have. But yeah, so if you were using this is the way to play Janks. This is just the way to play him. Like currently, until Arbiter comes. Because the ability Arbiter claims that Janks, you only die when Janks allow you to. Like, what the hell does that mean? But that's supposed to be one of his. Like, it's supposed to be a really strong relic. I believe that's what that one's called. But yeah. But like I said, it's if we just look at the where the heck is that? Let me just show you the video one more time. Did I close it? Really? What the hell was I thinking? Oh. There you are. So I'm just gonna look at the video one more time, but I can just tell you the version that we're seeing in this video is like lights out ahead of where we are currently. Like the patch we're playing ain't nowhere near this. Even weapons have changed positions. Because I can show you the flamethrower right now. It's not protected. It's Vanguard. I should know. I use it all the time. So now it's going to be kind of nice. I'm going to have it. It's going to give me more health, which I don't mind. Yeah, the rockets even look different. Everything actually has different effects on them too. Because right now, let me just show you something, right? I'm going to show you what I mean by damn near unplayable, right? So I'm going to play the rush, which is just painful. So they give you the rush as your starting rocket launcher, right? It's pretty painful. Like right now, if you play against if you play against bots,
so now I'm gonna show you.
Bots can't actually hit you with it. The only I'll play the worst combination of rocket launchers in the game, because I used to like playing duels of stuff. It's not really that easy to do. So I'll do this, and I'll go off this gauntlet because I kind of like to have some protection when primals come about. I usually use temporal rush, but I'll use sprint because it's a long-lasting effect, and I got it up to a high level right now. Each build has a different character that I play with. She's my primal hunter in this game. Right now, the quests are completely messed up. Like, these are all the ones I completed. There's no dailies, there's no weeklies. So we're kind of hoping that they're gonna drop either 0.19 like today or tomorrow, because we don't know what's going on with the build we have right now. Like it's like they're getting the servers ready for something big, maybe launch or whatever, but it basically broke the beta. So just to give you it's not impossible to win, it's just not really easy, and it's not fun. So here's the problem with rocket launchers right now. Rocket launchers have these gigantic fat bullets that their hitbox is directly in the center of them and in the very front of them. So everything else you do with it, if the rockets don't hit scenery or hit an object, the rocket does no damage. Like, you see right here, that does not count as scenery. That was something I had to learn the hard way. None of this counts as scenery. None of this counts as stuff I can hit. That does. Whoops. That does. That does. But if I'm not hitting people or scenery, the rocket does no damage. I have no idea how they thought this was going to be They say it's fun. I don't find it fun. Not at all. I find it super annoying. But that's what rockets do now. They also manipulated the positioning of where stuff is. So you'll notice that I'll do this a lot more than I ever used to, because I'm missing the actual weapons, because they're a little bit closer together than they used to be. This is like super annoying, bro. You literally have to hit the environment more than try to hit people, because everyone is so fast. Your bullets are so slow. It's super hard to hit things. It's really bad. And people are like, oh, you'll get used to it. No, you don't. This is like playing the game, handicapping yourself, because you're like, I'm just too good at the game, so I actually want to have a really hard time playing. It's not worth the damage that they give you if you can barely hit anything. And thank God it's mostly bots, because if there was a real person in here, this would even be worse. I can barely hit the damn bots. Just imagine trying to shoot at a real person. And if I lose, I'm not surprised. Sometimes the bots like come correct and save me. But I am honestly telling you, this is like super hard to play. Did you see the bullet just fly over the what do you call it? The wild slinger? The bullet went over it and didn't touch it, because the perfect center and the perfect front of the bullet didn't hit the wild slinger. That's why it missed. That's not a great weapon. And like I said, the bots, when they play it, I literally, as if I am physically able to see where the bot is shooting from, and I'm paying attention to the bot, they can't hit me. You literally can neo it from the Matrix, just dodge out the way, like they can't touch you. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. And it has a ridiculous reload time. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hey. I'm just trying to kill 2 more people.
60 seconds.
Jesus Christ. That hit. Got 1. Because if they hit me, they win.
Well done.
A bot did that. That's how horrible rocket launchers are right now. Trial plays better than that because somehow the rush is even slower than the trial. I don't understand how this is a play mechanic that was an infusion on the Heretic. That they made it every rocket play like the infusion. I don't get it. That's not fun. That's not cool. That doesn't feel good. That doesn't make you say like, oh crap, I can't believe it. I need to play that. What it literally tells me as a player is don't play this class of weapons at all. Versus last patch, if they shot into an open space, they exploded and the damage was there. If somebody moved to the edge of it, it took the edge of the damage. They moved into the center, took full damage. Now, it's got extremely long range, super slow shot that only causes damage if it hits a physical object that's in the center of the map or a group of people. That's insane. That's not good. So, and the weird argument I've heard is it differentiates them from flat cannons. No, they just suck now. Because let me show you a flat cannon with a range of 9, which has a slow for free, and how much better it plays than either one of these things. So I'm just going to pick the facade. I'm going to equip that. I'm going to play that instead. No. And I'm going to play the Negate Siren. And I'm going to play that. And just because, I'm going to go Volatile Mines because it's good to keep people away from you. One of my other big concerns is, and one of the things I keep arguing about, or I always say I don't like, this weapon class, the flat cannon weapon class, every one of the flat cannons have a slow on them. Every other weapon in the game that gets a slow must get the slow through infusion. What do you mean by was West? Seems West. Let me show you. Let me dissuade you of that fact. It is not weak at all. It's super strong. It was always strong. It's just that you got to use it the way it's got to be used. Facade had one of the capabilities before they added the slow. If people were chasing you, just shoot the Facade in their direction. They will stop chasing you instantaneously. Why? Facade always killed them. Facade is not weak at all. Facade's super strong. Facade is automatically slowing. It's hitting for 700, and my Negate Siren is hitting for like 12. So I'm hitting you for almost 2,000 with just 2 weapons all the time. It is not weak at all. That's weak? Literally nothing can move. Between these 2 guns, nothing moves on the screen. I just lock you down in place and just keep shooting you. It also has explosive damage. If you're near a wall, I can kill you.
Triple kill.
That's just Facade. That's not weak in the slightest. It's one of the strongest guns in the game right now. just got double damage. That's even worse for them. It's one of the strongest guns in the game. I could take away the slow and the gun would still be good. I don't think it should get a slow for free. I don't think any guns, if you're not going to give Negate Siren, whose primary job is to slow you, a slow for free, and I have to get that through infusion, I cannot understand a class of weapons getting slows for free. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. This is actually one of my other builds that I run now a lot, if I'm not running flamethrowers. I just found out that sprint works really well with the chain guns, because I wasn't playing them before either, and it's super strong.
Double kill. Triple kill. Quad kill.
I'll just tell you, no, Facade is not weak. No, not even close to being weak. And if you're using it with a Negate Siren, using it with any sniper like Objection, it works well with Objection. Another fun way to use it too is use the Kindred, use the Exhortation Talisman, and weaken everybody who gets caught in the explosion. Anytime you hit something with it, it weakens them. So they're doing 30% less damage right off the bat. It is not a weak weapon in any way I can think of. Dead.
Well done. We have grown in strength.
That's what the Facade does currently. The range was increased to 9. The damage was buffed up by like 200. It's super strong. The fact that it has the ability to slow you down for no reason. Huh? I still say, why not make it reduce your shield? Reduce your armor by like 30%. How about giving you crit every 4th shot? Either one of those to me makes sense. But to tell me that it slows you for nothing does not make sense. That's not the Facade. That's the Miser. The Miser is slow. Like, here's another combination that works real well. Miser, Facade are super strong together. They're just not... Miser is just not strong without the Facade. It used to be the other way around. The Facade wasn't really that strong without the Miser. The Miser was the faster of the two guns. People can play it and do really well. I cannot, because the gun that I expect to be fast isn't. I expect the Miser to have speed, and I expect the Facade to be slow. And because it's flipped, even though I can get kills with it and stuff, it's off in my head. It messes up my timing. My timing can't be followed the way I want it to, because I'm confused by what's happening. Like, you would think, okay, so shoot the Miser first and the Facade. It's just the timing doesn't work for me. It feels weird playing it. So that's why I don't like playing it. But the Miser, yeah. Them slowing down the Miser, they did that like 4 or 5 patches ago. They nerfed the damage and they slowed it down. It basically made it, to me, here's why I know I stopped playing it, because my build used to be Brighton. It used to be the Flamethrower, Primal Fire, the Miser, and the Bracer of Dedication. Back in the day, Bracer of Dedication used to be like a scavenger. So I used to use that a lot. So every time I got kills, I just kept on getting ammo from my Miser. So my Miser was short range, like only like 8 meters. And my Flamethrower was like 10 meters. But the damage together, they did crazy amounts of damage together. Then they decided to slow the Miser down and reduce its damage. I switched over to the Renegade. Renegade is still not the longest range rifle in the game, but the speed of which it does its damage is better than whatever a Miser can do right now. When you used to have a Miser and 3 or 4 people surrounded you, you could basically take those people out. This Miser, if there's 2 people and you're fighting them, you're dead. If you're fighting one person by yourself and you can move around and weave decently, you should win. But if you're telling me you're going to take a Miser and a Flamethrower, nah, man, that ain't going to work. Misers can't kill me if I'm using a shotgun. Misers can't kill me if I'm catching you with a renegade. Misers can't kill me if I'm hitting you with a sniper rifle. Misers can't kill me at all. So it's kind of whack. The only way it works right now is like this. You go here, and then you take the miser, and you put it with the facade. It's the only feasible working build right now for it. It works well with this. I've seen people try to use it without it. They both slow you down also. So it's helpful. And the reason they're nifty is their support. So if you have a heal ability, a shield ability, or whatever, it's bringing down their cooldown so you can use them a lot. So my catalytic, my Windwalker's totem right now gives you a 30% boost based on its 30. So I think you got up to 60. So my Windwalker totem will now work like my Windwalker totem will work sort of like a sprint, but as a pad that people can run on. But this works. This seems kind of weak. And it's the only reason Miser seems weak is, like I said, is it's because it's slow. You cannot use Miser with Orthotic Generator. If you want to have a better chance with Orthotic Generator, use it with the Renegade. It works all right with the Renegade. If you somehow know how to use the Finlay effectively, you can use it with a Finlay. I don't like the Finlay. I hate the speed up. I hate the fact that back in the good old days, that combo would have just like crushed everything. It's just it's slower and weaker to me. That's why I don't like playing it. Like the Miser is more of a setup. The Facade is your finisher because the Facade is so much faster now. You do not finish people off with Misers. You set them up with Misers. You let the Facade do the work.
Double kill. Triple kill.
Oh, nice.
Double kill. Triple kill. Quad kill. Undaunted.
How am I missing? I'm like right next to it. Weird.
Double kill. Triple kill.
That was close. Yeah, the Miser plays like crap. They need to speed it back up. If they give it more speed, the Miser will play fantastically. It's just too slow.
Double kill.
It was a great gun. I remember it's been a solid gun since like 0.4. It was Perception who was the first person who started using it, and everybody's like, "What the hell is that thing he's using?" When they used to fire green bullets.
Let them fear you. You have done
And
chosen.
it was fantastic. Like what I play, which is kind of weird, is I play Orthotic Generator with the Lumia Arrival. I can't stand. I hate what they did to all of the heavy mortars because all of them have an 11 range. They don't feel like heavy mortars anymore. Because the problem is you have to get so close to be able to hit stuff with it. It defeats the purpose. The avalanche used to be deadly because the avalanche used to be able to hit you from 15 meters away, and you could just drop it and you could stay safe. Now, to use the avalanche, you have to put yourself in harm's way, and if you're fighting a sniper, they already have range on you, so you're kind of dead. If you're fighting a battle rifle, they already have DPS on you, so you're kind of dead. You're fighting a shotgun, same DPS problem. You can't run into a flamethrower, you're kind of dead. Like, there's so many ways that you can't use them effectively anymore. That's why they don't feel good. Like, the Lumia Arrival, I can play the Arrival and the Lumia Arrival. I can play the Demi-Lune. But somehow, I hate the way the Avalanche works now. It used to be one of my favorites. It was like second favorite after the original Arrival. It was my second favorite. It's like my least favorite mortar to play now. Even the basic mortar feels better than it does. It just feels like you can't reach stuff. And that's the problem. And the fact that you have to run into everything to try to hit them, it's not logical. They literally should make mortars at least 13 meters minimum. Heavy at least. The heavy mortars have to be 13. You can leave the lower ones at 10.5, 11. You can even take a damn meter if you wanted to. I don't care. I just think the heavy should have at least three or four more meters. It's at least 3 more meters, because if they're at 14, then they're a true counter to sniper. It's the problem that they did in the game is they got rid of all the counters. Range was one of the bigger counters in the game. So even when I started out the game and I didn't have a lot of stuff, I always had a really good counter to things because I had my heavies that had really long range. I could fight sniper rifles, I could stay away from shotguns, I could stay away from a bunch of stuff with it. But when you shorten their range and you make the heavies and the primaries have the exact same range, they're just damage guns. And if you don't hit, you're screwed. And then you got to always put yourself in harm's way because you also don't have speed with them either. You didn't give me a speed bonus after you took away my range. So I have to run in to kill myself, but I can't run out if I'm fighting battle rifles because all battle rifles have a speed boost on them. Like, what the hell, man? I know you play it more effectively, but like I said, you have to commit to running at me to get me. So one of the ways to stop you is that build I was just playing before with the negate siren and the facade. I can stop you anytime I want with it because the negate slows you, the facade slows you. Damage, dead. Like, those two guns together are doing 2,000 every time 2 of their shots hit together. So I'm doing about 4,000. Another key, negate siren is the only sniper rifle in the game that does not slow you down when you fire it. Only one. Why does it play better than all of them? Because you're mobile with it. You have no extra speed, but you also have no penalty for shooting it. It also has no handling delay. It literally, I shoot it and I can shoot my primary. Shoot it, I can shoot my primary. Shoot it, I can shoot my primary. All the other guns, pop. Ooh, you gotta wait half a second before you can shoot your prime. What the hell is that? Why would I want you slowing me down? Why are you adding clunkiness into the way the game plays? Go back to 0.11 and 0.12 and analyze the game. Very fast, very fluid. Switch between guns. Combinations can beat combinations. When people claim snipers were unbeatable, I still didn't understand it because you had to play snipers counters to beat it. Gap closing and high DPS weapons. Pick it. You gotta do that. If you're not gonna do gap closing and DPS weapons, well, die to snipers all the time. But you can't tell me you're gonna play something that has no gap closing, has no DPS, and then you're gonna complain that snipers are taking you out. That's not a thing. Do something to fix the problem. You can't just say that I want to play a specific build, and if that specific build can't beat it, snipers are too tough to play against. That's not right. That's not even logical. Because snipers, back in the day, when you had the good snipers and these people were moving around and doing their thing, and they had decent auto aim, they were hard, but they weren't impossible. But when people were like, oh, if everybody's playing sniper, you can't play at all, then everybody should play shotguns with gap closing so you can kill all the snipers. Duh. Just play the freaking counter. And most people need to play the counter to beat them. But if you all want to play them, then what are you complaining about? They act like there's no way to stop these things. And it was always built in until 0.13, 14, and all of these other weird-ass patches where they come, oh, we're making every gun feel different. But you made every gun feel different. Every type of weapon feels different. But now there's only one good weapon in every type. There is one superior weapon in every type. Where before, all the weapons felt different, but all the weapons had a niche and they could all be played even though they weren't the most superior in their type. They were all good at something. By making all the classes the same, you basically remove each weapon's individual benefit. You just made the class have, okay, this is the best in the class and this is the worst in the class. This is the best in the class and this is the worst in the class. And that's all you have now. That's what you did. Like, that's why I didn't understand when they're like, oh, we're reworking the weapons and we're making the classes more similar. Huh? The Tetrad's benefit. It was the fastest battle rifle and had the longest range of all the battle rifles. That was its benefit. Damage-wise, it sucked ass. Worst damage in the game. Then they created the infusions. Best infusion in the game. And then for some bizarre reason, for like 8 patches, they had the range at 12.8 meters. For no reason. It used to be 11.8 meters before that. And that was the longest range in the game for a battle rifle. But yet, they kept it at that ridiculous number for God knows how many patches. And then, to fix it, you nerf its range, you nerf its damage, but you didn't touch the infusion, which is really the problem with the gun. That's its issue. Its infusion's too strong. Literally, that's the problem. There is no other issue with the gun. Its infusion's too strong. Because like I said, I dare them to not have it in, what do you call it, Harvest Quest, and make it super hard for you to get other, what do you call it, to get other Tetrads, and then tell me who's going to play a level 3 infused Tetrad and is going to be dominating in this game. You're going to get your ass kicked left and right. You ain't beating nobody with that. I should know. Because the only way I used to be able to play it was a mid-range, long-range weapon. Anytime somebody got close to me, died instantaneously. I couldn't take objectives. I couldn't do anything. Its only claim to fame was long-range poking and speed. That's it. Had nothing else going for it. Yeah, that's not the... If you have a level 9 Tetrad, once you reach level 7 with the Tetrad, it's broken. And once it hits level 10, it's super broken. Because 0.4 is strong. 0.8 is really strong. Level 10 is insane. Right now, I can get double damage and have the Tetrads 4 shots each hit at 1,000. At one point, the gun shot will be doing 4,000 per shot as the health goes down. How is that even okay? So you think that as I get closer to, what do you call it, something that's going to more than double the amount of damage per percentage of health you lose, is that going to be doing 2,000 per shot? 3,000 per shot? So you're going to have a gun that can do 1,200 as a primary? If we're double... What? It's like... It doesn't make any damn sense, bro. It's so weird. It makes zero sense, some of the things they're doing. Literally, you have to bring it down to 0.3, 0.6, 0.8. Or 0.2, 0.5, 0.5, 0.8. That's from 4, 7, and 10. That's fair. But going beyond point 0.8 in damage is insane. It's insane. I don't know, man. It's really weird, some of the stuff they've done. That's why, like, when they say they're gonna touch the abilities, I'm terrified. I am shocked how good the trinket changes were. The best change they've ever made in the game has been the trinkets. It is superior to anything I've ever seen. There's only one kind of broken stuff in it, and it's only Clemency Vow. The problem is, Clemency Vow will literally be able to kill. You get a shield at 50% of your health. You get a kill, it's automatically ready again. That's a bit strong. 2 kills, cooldown, bring the cooldown down by half with every time you get a kill. I think that's fair. But instantaneously get it right back? Nah, that's not fair. it's not fair at all. It's actually pretty strong. A lot of the stuff is strong. The only reason why it doesn't feel kinda it's because everything else feels really good too. Everything else feels pretty solid. Like, I think the weakest things right now is like the belt of phasing and the empathy band, because their shields are so tiny compared to every other benefit that everything else is getting. Like, if the belt of phasing gave you that small shield but it lasted longer, I think that would be it. Or give you a bigger shield and last as short as it does, that would be also a benefit. It's just, I think their numbers can be a little higher. But besides that, everything here actually plays well. I still think Kindred class should work in a very specific way. You gain whichever is faster, you gain that speed. If the speed of your primal is faster than you, you stay at the primal speed. If your speed is faster than the primal comes to your speed. That would make Torden also benefit from that, because Torden is slow as crap, bro. He can't. Everything can kite him. He's the slowest primal again. He's like back to 0.3, 0.2, 0.3, where Torden couldn't catch anybody. And like, you would transform to Torden and walk into an area before you got to kill somebody, you would have been transformed back to human, because they would just removed all your health. It was ridiculous. The Torden is that slow again. What we're hoping for is also swappable versions of these, upgradable versions of these, something, because the base versions of them, common sucks, rare is decent, epic is great, legendary is awesome, common sucks as the base for everything, and there's no way to make it better. So it keeps the play styles really linked, I mean really tight. But yeah, it's, and I think they got to stop doing patches, balanced nerfs and buffs based on if a weapon plays well. Buffs and nerfs should be happening if weapons are underperforming by a lot and they're overperforming because of their strength. You can't basically have a very small player base and you have a guy who plays a gun 98% of the time and he can win with the gun. That does not mean the gun is super strong. Now, if everybody who plays with the gun wins 90 in the build that he's using and the gun that he's using and wins 98% of the time, if everyone wins 98% of the time, then it's a nerf is necessary. If only one person is doing it, how the hell does that mean you're going to nerf a gun to the ground? That's not how that works. That means it's a really good weapon and that person's really good at the build that they're playing. That's all it means. Because there's a lot of guns that I play I do really well with. I win a lot. I do good damage. I get good kills with them. And they don't get nerfed. Sometimes they get buffed. And I'm just like, this didn't need a buff. But then once it's buffed, everybody plays it. Because nobody played Flamethrower until this patch. Everybody's like, oh, my Flamethrower is really, really good. Yeah, they buffed the crap out of that. It's strong. It's unruly to me. but it's a lot stronger now. Like if I have my flamethrower build, I can walk around and kill stuff. I can take out Imperial Guardians comfortably like I used to. Because somewhere along the middle, it got really hard to do everything. Now it's back to, wow, flamethrowers can just take things out whenever it wants. So yeah, like I said, I hated the chain gun until I found the chain gun sprint combination. I actually like playing that, and I'm playing that for a bit because I'm trying to also find different ways to play the game. So I have actually different builds. When they nerf this gun, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble because I really like it.